don't do anything that will require you to visit the hospital, and if you do, you will have to turn to a private health facility because its members are on strike. The group is protesting government's failure to review the conditions of service of its members. It also cites what it says is government's decision to deliberately cause disharmony within the health sector. How will this impact on healthcare delivery? We'll hop around the country to our correspondents. We'll also speak with leadership of the union. Now, thousands of youth from Monday have been trooping to various centers to participate in the documentation and medical screening exercise to get enlisted into the Ghana National Fire Service, the Prison Service, and the Ghana Immigration Service. They are eager to get jobs that will almost certainly guarantee job security. We will be out there to engage with them, as some of them have very interesting stories about being unemployed and what getting these jobs mean to them. It's all right here on the AM show. I'm Israelite, and I'll be doing this with Enimwa Inimado. Do stay tuned in.
Good morning and welcome to the AM News. Now, from today, Tuesday, 26th October 2021, the over 28,000 membership of the Health Services Workers Union of the Trades Union Congress have been directed by leadership to abandon their post. This is to protest government's decision not to review conditions of service of its members. They also cite government's decision to deliberately cause disharmony within the health sector. Okay, so let's move on. And the laws must work. That is the agreement reached between the police and faith-based organizations in a meeting held at the police headquarters. The meeting, called by the Inspector General of Police, comes in the wake of the arrest of a prophet who has been caught up in a gunshot attack hoax by dancehall musician Shatta Wale. The prophet, who was granted bail yesterday, is said to have prophesied the death of the musician. Addressing the media after the meeting, presiding bishop of the Methodist Church of Ghana, Right Reverend Paul Boafo, said they will embark on a sensitization program to ensure their members don't fall foul of the law.
Coming in to tell us about how religion can be used to foster coexistence, and then also to obey and adhere to the laws of this nation based on the church's operations in Ghana. And some of the areas that we looked at indicated that the church can fall foul and can be sued or can be brought to law when it comes to noise making, when it comes to things that are inhumane, that are committed in the society. And all these things are not new. They are our laws, which we believe that they must be enforced in society. So all the heads agreed that the police must be supported by the faith-based organizations to do their work. And in doing their work, it means that the laws must work in Ghana. And that is what we are all agreeing on. And as a church, what we can do best is to support them with our prayers and also support them in every aspect of their life.
Gathered here this morning are mainly from well-organized groups. You have churches that fall within these organizations, but there are those who do not particularly identify, which has mainly been the problem. Was that, discussed at the meeting and ways to handle it?
Yes, it came out very, very clearly that unfortunately those who fall foul to these laws are not with us. But we believe that with the education that is coming and then the enforcement that will be put out there, they will come to know.
Now, Acting Director General of the Public Affairs of the Police Service, ACP Kwesi Fori, says they are poised to sanitize the system with a collaboration of the organization.
And key among the issues discussed is education and law enforcement. So the Public Affairs Directorate and the various councils, the Christian Council of Ghana, the Pentecostal Council, among others, will team up to do education. And we're not going to give a time period as we do education, law enforcement also take place, because some aspect of the law enforcement also could be a good material for education and sensitization. And so we've agreed that we'll be working closely to avoid frictions, infractions that may call for stiffer law enforcement, so that together we all build a harmonious and peaceful society.
Now, this meeting is coming in the wake of a recent case where we know a prophet was picked up in relation to Shatta Wale's arrest. Is this what necessitated this meeting?
We are all aware that there have been a lot of developments. As I said, in recent times, we've witnessed several developments that perhaps might have engineered, some of these discussions. But we're looking at the good times ahead, so that we can forge that sense of unity, that sense of cooperation.
My question is whether the police will be increasing its monitoring of media platforms, which is mainly used by our men of God churches in propagating the gospel, where we have sometimes these infractions.
It is not a question of monitoring, but we are trying to work together with them to sanitize the grounds.
Yeah.
That is what we
That is it. It is to sanitize the system. Yeah, so it is not just going out there and monitoring like witch hunting. No, that is not what the police is going to do. But we'll make sure that things are put in order.
Now, there was a near clash between police and angry residents of the La Nkwantanan Medina municipality who hit the streets in protest of the terrible roads in the area. The protesters, drawn from more than 6 communities, blocked portions of the Ayi Mensa Danfa road by burning tires and preventing traffic flow. At least 3 persons were initially arrested as police attempted to pick up the Medina MP who led the demonstration. We'll hear shortly from the MCE for the area who has condemned the protest. But first, Manuel Kranting of our security desk was with the protesters and now reports.
We are demonstrating to make our motorable road known to the government. It has been a culture, because that's the only way the government hears the voice. For a reason I don't know. I'm Mr. Chapter first.
That is the youth chief of Danfa being whisked away by police after he was arrested during a demonstration by angry residents in the La Nkwantanan Medina municipality of the Greater Accra region. The residents were protesting the deplorable state of roads in the area and calling on government to immediately address the issue.
Your health is our concern, so the simple thing said, they should come and do the road. That's what we want. Anytime after, we especially me, I'm a mate. At times when you come from where the following day, we need to go to shop. They should say enough. They are not trying. So they should be very careful. We are not dealing with politics. We are not. We want them to fix the road. They should fix the road. We are not okay here. Our life is in danger.
All the roads from Ayi Mensa to Otinidi to Danfa to Adotaiman are sports. Akufuado, we are dying.
No honey, no do a taxi, no taxi, Akufuado, we are dying, we are dying.
The roads are terrible. As a taxi driver, I had to drop a pregnant woman because she was in so much pain.
The angry youth burnt ties and blocked portions of the road, preventing motorists from moving. It took police intervention to clear the road. MP for Medina, Francis Xavier Sosu, who led the protest, declined an invitation from the Accra Regional Police Command over the matter, citing parliamentary immunity.
Police have expressed consent. Say we are blocking the road. We are blocking the road. I say, what kind of block are we talking about? So the regional commander of police is inviting me after this demonstration. I want to warn the Ghana Police Service. They will not put me under arrest.
was whisked away by his aides to avoid police arrest. Even though the authorities say the construction of the road have been awarded on contract, contractors are not on site. For the residents, this is the first in a series of protests they will have if the roads are not fixed.
We have seen this deplorable road for years. We're coming back. We are doing, that's the only language the government understands. And so we are speaking that language. We will speak that language until that road is constructed.
Go against any rule. So we don't understand the reason why people should be arrested here, fought and back. But it will not intimidate us. This is not the first or the end of the demonstration. We shall continue. And Luther continue.
As they await government action on the road, the residents here will have to endure the situation some more. Manuel Clanting, Joy News, Ayimensa.
Meanwhile, the MCE for La Nkwantanan Madina, Jennifer Dede Jabing, has condemned the protests, describing it as needless.
Apologies for whatever that has happened to residents who live within this area. For me, it is a very needless protest. I have kept saying, I've engaged the Member of Parliament severally, and I've informed him that this exercise was needless. Needless in the sense that this is a contract or a road that has already been awarded. So if you're trying to get central government's attention, there are a lot of roads that you could get central government's attention on by not protesting. But in this particular case, it is a road that has been awarded on contract, but with challenges that the contractor is facing, has not been able to do much work. You have engaged the contractor yourself, and you have engaged me as chief executive. The reason the contractor has given is that the rains is making it difficult for him to come to site around this time. You've kept on putting pressure that the contractor should at least come to give an indication that you, the Member of Parliament, is seen as working.
When was this contract awarded?
Very unfortunate.
Madam, when exactly was this contract awarded, please? If you can hear me, Madam, we will have to hurry up with this. I would want to find out when exactly this contract was awarded.
November 2020.
And it's been raining all through?
No. So the
November 2020,
the contractor had come to work.
Mm-hmm.
It is not as if the contractor has not hit the ground. It is not as though the impression is created by the MP as if the contractor has not hit the ground.
So the reasons given to you by the contractor
the
is
slow
tenable?
nature of the contractor.
Thousands of Ghanaian youth in Kumasi trooped to various centers Monday morning to participate in a documentation and medical screening exercise into Ghana's security services. The young job prospects anticipate their enlistment by the Ghana National Fire Service, the Prison Service, and the Ghana Immigration Service will end their long drought of being unemployed. There's more in the following report.
Recruitment of personnel into the Ghana Immigration Service, the Ghana Fire Service, and the Ghana Prison Service began today here in Kumasi. And right now we are here at the Kumasi Babayaro Sports Stadium where the Ghana Immigration Service are having some recruitment exercise.
The medical screening and documentation exercise is expected to end by the close of week. The unemployed youth, including university graduates, joined long queues at the various centers in wait for their turn to undergo the screening exercise.
As you can see behind me, there are several unemployed graduates who have come here to be recruited. And we engage with some of them, and here's what they have to say.
It's been stressful so far. I reached here around 5:45. In fact, the time that I came here, I met about 300 to 500 candidates or applicants over here, which I started joining the queue from the Amas Gate. So I think about 2 hours or 3 hours, I will be done and leave the place.
According to ACI Charles Yaobediakon of the Ghana Immigration Service, successful applicants will take an aptitude test on Saturday to complete the recruitment process.
It's going to last for 4 days, from Monday to Thursday. We break for Friday and they'll write the aptitude test on Saturday. So far, so good. We've not had any problems. It's a system we are using. It's not just looking at the person and say, go. We key everything and Nobody can run over the system. They all have to go through the system. If you don't qualify, we take you out, then you go. We are trying to get everybody attended to within the 4 days.
The Trading Economics Global Macro Model has estimated Ghana's unemployment rate will increase from 4.3% to 4.60% by the end of 2021. However, Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta revealed the public sector cannot absorb the majority of the unemployed youth to reduce Ghana's unemployment rate. In spite of the revelation, some applicants are hopeful they will be recruited.
For me, I have hope because once the government has given out the clearance, I think we can pass through.
That's what they've been saying all this while, but they are still recruiting. So we are just trying our lucks, you see, because the unemployment rate is just too much. So you try your best, you shoot your best shots. If it's, then that's it.
I wouldn't be here if I didn't. I mean, everybody have an iota of hope before they spend their 100 cedis on this application.
From Kumasi for Joy News, Emmanuel Bright Kweku reporting.
Well, that's it for the AM News this morning, but the AM show continues right after this.
All right, good morning, and again, this is the AM show, and it's with me and Nimwa. Nimwa, welcome.
Hi, I like the way you welcome me to the show. Like, you're welcome too, Israel.
Oh.
Welcome back from that defeat. I'm happy to see that you're doing well, that your spirits are up. I admire your tenacity and your resilience. It's not easy, you know, to go through something like you did on Sunday and, you know, hold your head up high and just walk through.
Hold on. Am I missing something? Welcome back from what?
Walk through, you know, life with your pride and your, you know, integrity intact. I'm really proud of you for how you're handling that Hearts of Oak loss. I mean, well done. I'm really, really proud of you. And I mean that admission that, you know, even great teams lose sometimes. It's fantastic. Love your attitude. Such a great attitude. So I'm really happy this morning.
I don't get you.
Why?
What's all this about? Accra Hearts of Oak lost 6-1 to Wydad in Morocco.
Mm-hmm.
And why all this drama?
There's no drama. I'm just saying I'm happy to
that same day, okay? Manchester United.
Yeah.
They lost.
Yes.
They were walloped.
Yes.
By the same margin, really.
Exactly.
By Liverpool.
Yes.
In or at Old Trafford.
Does it mean that I can't admire your resilience and your ability to, you know, look past the present pain and look forward to the glory that may lie ahead of you?
Big teams lose.
So we're agreeing. Yes, big teams lose. So well done, Israel. I'm very, very happy to see you in good spirits because God knows it was absolutely devastating. Anyways, so if you're just tuning in, good morning, welcome. This is the AM show. And Israel is in good spirits. He's alive and well. And we're really thankful.
I'm fine. I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with me.
Of course, there's nothing wrong with you. That's what I admire. That you can sit here and say there's nothing wrong with you with a smile on your face. Do you know how many people cannot do that? Takes great strength.
Okay, let's get on with the newspapers.
Yeah,
and,
we should,
I'll start with the Daily Graphic. And today I intend to make it as quickly as possible. So I've already figured out the story.
Pages, okay, that's good.
All right, so Daily Graphic on the front page, Alternative Livelihood Program, 220,000 illegal miners to gain employment. So about 220,000 illegal miners will be provided with good alternative livelihood options under a new national program, the National Alternative Employment and Livelihood Program, NILP. Okay, so we keep coming up with all these acronyms every now and then. We like doing these.
We are tired, Cry. Just do the work.
Another program which is targeted at people affected by the crackdown on illegal mining, or galamsey. The beneficiaries will be allocated space and also provided with technical assistance by geologists, mining engineers, and other experts to ensure that they carry out mining activities in a responsible manner to protect lives and the environment. So I hear this and I'm wondering, the geologists and all the other people that They're saying mining engineers, geologists, will be provided to these people to help them. I'm suspecting the geologists themselves might end up taking galamsey,
wow.
then
have a little faith. Have a little faith.
Using these galamseyers as, I mean, they will set up their business.
Have a little faith.
Anyway, so yeah. And but I'm also trying to understand the difference between. So we have this one, and the president also set up these district community mines. Sometime in July 25. I'm trying to understand. Okay, what's the difference? Because they're all supposed to be targeted at these galamseyers. So anyway, but they're talking about an exit route. The objective of the new program is in line with the government's vision of ameliorating the unintended and unavoidable hardships of the clampdown by Operation Halts. Okay. All right. So moving on to another story. Going to page 16. And that story is on the front page. It says, ban on Aboboya postponed to February 2022. The ban was supposed to have started a lot earlier, but now we're learning that it's been postponed. It was supposed to have started November 1. So they were banning they're banning the tricycles to stop using major roads from November 1.
Okay, that's very interesting. But other interesting stories, and of course we'll bring you more on that, other interesting stories on the front page of the Ghanaian Times this morning. What Israel was talking about, community mining scheme, President launches livelihood programs. Now guess what? We're expecting 150,000 tourists to arrive in Ghana by December. Beyond the return, Ghana is targeting 150,000 tourist arrivals by December. That's according to the Minister of Tourism, Interesting and Creative Arts, Dr. Awal. 150,000 in it for. Wow. Okay. Thousands of prospects. I wonder how we're going to cope, what measures we're going to put in place, for COVID-19. Can we handle, such a massive wave? Are we going to be thorough at the airports? Are we going to, adhere to protocols? Is there going to be more police enforcement? And all of that gearing up. We should have a conversation about that and see how, beyond Ghana targeting 150,000 tourists, how is Ghana actually preparing for these 150,000 tourists? But
I'm also trying to understand, how are we coming by these figures? Okay. I mean, how do we know that we're getting 100 and...
Well, it's targeting. So I guess, based on marketing, on sales, on figures from maybe, the different organizers, whether it's Afro Nation, where there is that. And also perhaps based on what has happened in the past, because you usually use the past to project the future.
All right, so I had some mic issues, so apparently you couldn't hear me. That's why Anima has to take over and do the Ghanaian Times.
No, which is fine. I don't think they were complaining. I mean...
I'm sure they're wondering, okay, Israel's mic has some problem. What's happening? We can't hear Israel.
Okay, so let me just give you a few details about this. The December in Ghana program is expected to have tourists from America, United Kingdom, Nigeria, China, Netherlands, and other countries. Obviously, he talked about last year, saying last year was appalling for tourism because of COVID-19, and also the fact that Ghana is actually getting more tourist arrivals than any other West African country. Also because of the policies that have been put in place. Now, Dr. Awal is assuring that by December we would have vaccinated close to 20 million people out of 31 million people. That would be a significant number. You see, the problem with this is the number of months that the vaccine has efficacy or whatever, So if you've vaccinated 20 million people, they've had their second dose maybe 5-6 months before, or even 7 months before, or even 8, then, do you see what I mean? I think it's definitely a conversation that we want to have.
20 million, are we still working with this 20 million
we are still,
by December?
We are still working with a lot of things that are not, do you understand? Very good. So anyways, well, I think we should have a conversation at some point with the Ghana Health Service about, that figure. Even though we may have vaccinated 20 million people, how many people are actually, immune. So yeah, do you want to finish your paper and then I can come back to...
You finish with the Ghanaian Times.
Oh, okay. Now you've thrown me off a little bit. But just like any Heart of Oak fan, I rise above the being thrown off and I persevere. Invocation of curses on politicians, 18 persons granted 5,000 CD bill. Your facial expressions are priceless. Sudan's military dissolves civilian governments, harass leaders. Pope Francis compares Libyan centers to concentration and camp. Cabinet approves recruitment of 1,000 vet professionals. And the release of emergency support fund of 43.9 million Ghana cedis to combat the current outbreaks of the highly pathogenic avian influenza in the country. Okay, Afghanistan is facing a desperate food crisis. Meanwhile, I think the upper west or upper east region residents are being assured of food security. Now, that story about the Lankwantanan Medina residents' demo against bad roads in the community is also on page 15 of the Ghanaian Times. Thousands of prospective fire service GIS recruits throng LWAC FATs to go through screening. We're talking about that a little later on in the show. Now, this happens, almost every time that there's recruitment. Thousands of people do go there. It's about the hope that, they can get into some sort of employment that offers some sort of security, because you kind of,
If you get into the, Ghana Fire Service or military or...
It's kind of a job for life, isn't it? Yeah.
Unless you must do something really stupid to be kicked out of there.
Yeah. I used to dream of being in the military, but...
It's never too late.
It's late. It's late. They have a cutoff age. Do you know that according to the United Nations, I'm not a youth? Hard to believe, right? Like, very hard to be. I don't qualify.
But I think you can enter through another means.
Like special needs.
As an officer or something. You should think about it.
To be honest. I mean, I don't even understand.
I'll find out. I would have to find out for you.
Yeah, okay.
Because if you really want to, you can get in.
I didn't mean the
I can't even get in.
I didn't mean the Ghanaian military, though.
Oh.
Anyway.
Why?
Okay, so can I move on? The Upper East
You don't like the
residents-
Ghanaian military?
No.
Why?
Because there are lots of people who want to get into the military who actually really need it. So I'm taking a step back. I'm just, behaving like my team Kotoko, who have taken a step back so the Hearts of Oak can shine, except that they are not shining. Anyway.
And you went to Dubai. Hold on. So Kotoko went to Dubai. And what happened in Dubai? What happened in Dubai?
I just said we just took a step back. We made a decision to take a step back, like how I'm making a decision.
I don't know
to
who
not try
actually
and join
paid
them.
for that trip for the team to go to Dubai.
It wasn't you, though, was
Just to go
it?
and waste somebody's money and in return with virtually nothing.
At least they didn't return with six. They didn't return with -6.
You want me to go into the scores? You played 5 matches. You lost all of them.
I think this is what the person who wrote the quote, the pot calling the kettle.
Player.
Fabio Gama. Why are you laughing?
Just that?
Yes. You said I should mention one. Is he any less of a Kosoko player just because he's Ghanaian?
Indigenous.
Wow. Racism. UNDP to support shea butter products with 1 million Ghana cedis. This is a good time to get into shea butter production. UNDP is supporting shea butter producers with 1 million Ghana cedis. So if you're unemployed and you're watching, maybe it's a good time to get into some shea butter, like the British call it, shea butter. Okay. Queen's baton lands in Ghana. Wagered Bawe Hospital appeals for children's unit. All right, that's it for me for the Ghanaian Times.
Okay, so
handing over to Hearts of Oak.
Let me go back to the Daily Graphic. And I don't know if you got the Aboboya bits. So, the Aboboya bits, it was supposed to have, the banning of the tricycles from the major highways was supposed to have started from November 1. But the Greater Accra Regional Minister, within 72 hours of announcing the dates, he, at a news conference in Accra yesterday, said effective November 1st, no motorized tricycle should ply the motorway. However, in line with the intended exercise, all motorized tricycles should keep away from all major highways and principal streets and restrict their operations to community riding by February 1, 2021. So the new date. So Bano Boboya postponed to February 2022. Even though, yes, I was very much looking forward to that November 1
so
date.
Singing an Aboboya?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm getting them off the streets because they're a nuisance.
Yeah, not as much as some trotro drivers and motorbike.
They're all. Okay, so Damba Festival lights up Yendi.
Oh yeah, I saw the pictures of that.
Let's get to the center spread. Investigate former President Mahama over electoral fraud claims. That's the EC. So the EC held a news conference yesterday and they were going hard at former President John Mahama over some allegations he's made. So they say, we see that our silence on this matter has dire consequences on public confidence in the commission and want the police to investigate the claims. And they talk about how the electoral process in 2020 was watertight, was efficient. So they also responded to this claim that the former president said that the 2020 elections will go down as one of the worst in the country's democratic journey. He said the good people of Ghana who experience our processes are the best judges. Their testimonies on social media demonstrated that the people were highly satisfied. It is not a wonder that the internationally recognized EU International Observer Mission, which has a track record of election observation, scored the 2020 elections 95%. The Deputy EC Chairman said that's Dr. Eric Bosman Asare speaking there. Okay, moving on. Justice for All Goes Virtual receives international recognition. And World Best Teacher contender introduced to Education Minister. Okay, those are just some of the other stories in the Daily Graphic. Just making sure I spend less time so that anyone will be happy.
No, it's fine.
The rest of
I'm happy. Hearts of Oak made me very happy, so I don't think anything can top that.
So the Fire Service immigration recruitment process is all here, also in the Daily Graphic, page 38. And you see there's one photo here. It doesn't really speak to it, because if you look at the photos in the news story from Kumasi, that's quite serious. Lots of people seeking these jobs. I wish them all the best. Really, I mean, I think we need a lot more fire service personnel. We need a lot more immigration personnel. So why
yeah, but
not?
needing a lot more fire service personnel, for example, it's not just about the personnel then, is it? Because then the whole organization needs to expand. There's no point hiring 10,000 new, firefighters if you have 6 trucks or that kind of thing. Yeah, and you know how it is, like in the US and the UK, how every borough or every district or every neighborhood kind of has like a fire station, and kind of that. And they do all sorts of interesting things.
If you have the people, they probably maybe they'll come up with innovative means. They may decide to go to...
Like what, putting a barrel on your head and running to the site of the fire?
Go to the place in a taxi and with a gallon of water.
Really, are you proud of yourself?
Ghana receives tour to mark Global Fund at 20, and Minister urges cocoa farmers to embrace pension scheme. That's it for the Daily Graphic.
Okay, so let's do page 5 of the Daily Guide. Let's get into international stories. Sudan coup, military dissolves civilian government and arrests leaders. Saudi prince suggested killing the king. Bomb cyclone brings mudslides, flooding, and power cuts to California. Haiti fuel shortages threaten lives. That's according to UNICEF. So that's it for page 5. Let's get into some entertainment. Equiapin Polo appeal judgment says for December 1. Jayana scoops 2 awards at 2021 Gugma. I have resigned from the Shatta movement. Oh, that's according to Ken Addy. Uncle Ken has disclosed that he used to be the chairman of Shatta Wale's fan base until the artists began misbehaving. So he made this revelation on Joy FM's Showbiz A to Z and said he used to admire the artist's gifts of effortlessly making hits and drew closer to him and doing all of that. But now he's divorcing him, basically, and says that, nope, not doing this anymore. So It'd be interesting to know how many of Shatta Wale's people, you know, their feelings would have changed after what he did. But anyway, interesting. Okay, McDan, Ebo Taylor, and others honored at the Emmy Awards. Daco Vibe features Davido on news. I'm Daily Guide, really. This is like old news. Like, they're talking about Je M'appelle, which is a song Daco Vibes has with Davido, which came out weeks ago. Weeks and weeks and weeks ago. Anyways, on the let's observe a minute silence for Hearts of Oak. On the back page of the Daily Guide, Hearts begs fans after WAC wallop. Hearts of Oak have released a statement to fans of the club. Please come and hire me and let me read the statements for you. I'll cry in the statements. I promise it'll be fantastic. The Phobians suffered their heaviest defeat in Africa's elite competition after succumbing to a 6-1 defeat. According to the club, the loss serves a huge learning lesson for their massively inexperienced team. Hearts also apologized to their fans for the woeful performance on Sunday night, insisting that they will build on the experience. Okay, I just need a minute to just recover from that apology from Hearts of Oak. I just need you to give me a minute. Okay.
Hey, you can't be dramatic, eh? Okay, but hold on. On the back page, same back page.
Say no more, my heart cannot take it.
Same back page. Liverpool defeats my darkest day. How are you not reading that?
Because we support our own, homegrown, you know, made in Ghana. Yeah. That's it for the Daily Guide this morning.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Wow, it's really speechless.
Are you happy with yourself?
Not quite yet. Not quite. Almost. I'm almost there.
Okay, Business and Financial Times. Tourism Ministry GT expects 150,000 visitors from December for December in GH events. Okay, so they're actually looking at December, the events that they have in December to deepen beyond the return initiative. Banks will increase lending as economy picks up. That's Addison, the governor, saying that. And rising age of population dependent on active workers worrying. That's Employment Minister also saying that. So, yeah, that's it for the Business and Financial Times. And then we should be getting ready to go to my Joy Online to see the stories we have there. But Daily Statesman, Agric Ministry gets clearance to recruit 1,100 professionals. Okay, that's good. Galamseyers get relief as government launches alternative employment and livelihood program. That's the NILP. I don't even know how to pronounce that.
What?
NILP.
All right.
N-A-E-L-P.
Like how it took me a time to pronounce, it took me some time to pronounce AFCFTA. So.
Mahama hot over 2020 rigging claims. EC demands evidence of thumb-printed ballot papers. It's supposed to be thumb, right? Thumb-printed.
I think so.
Yeah. Okay, so that's it for the Daily Statesman.
Okay, can we go to myjoyonline.com?
Okay, so we'll settle the 2024 elections anyway, anyhow. Okay, a free Ankara saying that. I blame EC for the 8 deaths recorded in 2020 elections, Tokono. But the EC is also saying that don't blame us. The EC is saying don't blame us because we are not in charge of security for elections. So I only met Godfred Dame to discuss law school issues. Justice Doche fights off Upuni bias claims. Mahama never said EC thumb-printed 1 million ballot papers. It's a free Ankara. Fake kidnap victim pleads guilty to 2 charges against her. Delay in sanctioning corporates for deaths recorded in 2020 election worrying Dr. Pumpuni Asante. And EC reducing cost of elections per voter to $7.70 incorrect, Peter Otukono. We reject Mohammed's scoring of 2020 elections as one of the worst. ECM ballot stuffing claims by NDC bogus. Peter
McMain. Okay, so that's it for My Joy Online, and that's it for the news review this morning. But of course, the show continues, and this morning we're discussing.
Yeah, the public sector health workers. They're saying they've announced a strike effective today, so we'll be around the regions to get to find out how this is impacting. So you can't essentially visit a public hospital, because if you go, it's not likely that you get the needed care. So you may have to turn to a private hospital or one of these mission hospitals that are available. So we'll look at that. And then we'll also be out there to look at the numbers that are trooping in to be enlisted into the Ghana Immigration Service, the Ghana National Fire Service, and all of that. They have lots of interesting stories. We'd like to hear some of these stories.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We would. So all that and more coming up. Of course, we also have some showbiz with IB a little later on. IB's back, and so much more fun. This is the AM show. Don't go anywhere. Well, welcome back. This is still the AM show, and there's a lot going on today. So the Health Service Workers Union are going on strike. They say that anything that will require you to go to the hospital, really, when you go there, they won't be there. And if you insist on going there, you'll find that there's no one there, and you have to go to a private facility. There are over 28,000 members of the Health Services Workers Union of the Trades Union Congress, and they have been directed by their leadership to abandon their post. Now, this is because of government's failure to review the conditions of service of its members. So that's happening. Also, they're saying that government has made a decision to deliberately cause disharmony within the health sector. Now, of course, we have so many questions. First is, how will it affect healthcare delivery? When you go to the hospital, how are you going to be treated? How are emergencies going to be dealt with? There's so much happening in the hospitals every day. And so to just have it completely shut down because workers are not available is a massive, massive problem. So we're going to get into that conversation properly a little later on. But we're also talking about the Immigration Service, the Ghana National Fire Service. The president has launched this alternative livelihood program. Last week we were talking about entrepreneurship and, all of that. There's a lot going on in terms of employment, finding a job, finding some job security and all of that. I want to know this morning, what do you think? What's on your mind? What's bugging you this morning? Are you worried about healthcare? Are you worried you're going to go to the hospital and there'll be nobody there? I was at 37 Military Hospital on Sunday, and it was really, really busy. But there were staff, right? There were doctors, there were nurses, there was a lab technicians, the pharmacies. This morning, if you go to any public hospital, you may not find some of these workers there. So how does that make you feel? What do you think about it? And also, do you want to share your experience with me if you've tried to get into the fire service or you've tried to get into the immigration service or military? What's that been like for you? If you tried last year or last 2 years, or even if you're trying this year, maybe you went and today you've decided not to go, or you're going to go today, or whatever it is. I'd love to hear from you. Give us a call. We'll put the numbers up on the screen shortly. So tell me what's on your mind. What's going on with you? There's also the EC stuff happening. They've said that ex-President Mahama should come and explain and give, evidence of the things that he's accused the EC of, including the overprinting of ballot papers and all of that. So I'd love to hear what you think. Can we get the number up on the screen? And then, you can call us and tell us what's on your mind. Also remember that we're live and interactive on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram. Okay, so the numbers are there, 0302-211-691 or 0302-211-692. Question is simple. What's worrying you this morning? Are you are you over the Hearts of Oak defeat? Or like me, are you still, desperately grieving for, not the team, but for the fans who are your friends? So what's on your mind? What's on your mind this morning? I really want to know. But okay, why don't we listen to the Health Secretary of the TUC? He's been speaking on the strike.
Because members are outraged and fed up. The dragging of feet and the lackadaisical attitude and nature with which the government handles the issue of Health Services Workers Union members can't be tolerated any longer. In the light of this, the union is telling the citizens of Ghana that it is unfortunate, but please don't forsake. We are telling members that should unfortunate happens, please seek healthcare treatment in private sector because the public sector will not be available. To the general public, we want you to know that the union wishes to state categorically that it is not its wish to cause industrial disharmony and disrupt the smooth delivery of health services, but the continuous disregard by the government team to respond to our simple request has pushed us to the wall and this far. Now to our cherished members who have been patient enough to work up to now, we salute you. Today, 25th October 2021, must be the last day that you will go to work as you have demanded. From tomorrow, 26th October 2021, please stay at home till you hear from your leaders. Your resumption to duty will depend on the government's team calling on the union team to negotiate in good faith and to conclude all outstanding issues. We entreat all members to stay resolute, fearless, focused, and united to fight until the union's requests are fully responded to. Long live workers' solidarity. Long live. Long live HSWU. Long live. Long live Ghana. Long live.
Okay, so let's get into the conversation. And joining us via Zoom is Albert Sorry. He is our correspondent in the Upper East, and he's going to be telling us what's going on there. Good morning, Albert.
Good morning.
Okay, so what's the situation on the ground? What's happening this morning?
Yes, so the Health Services Union, Health Services Workers Union branch in the Upper East region yesterday indicated that they will be complying with the directive from the national body to embark on the strike today. And so they have given notice that from today, just like their national executives have indicated, their members here in our region will be going on the strike. Their executive said that up to 21 different groups of workers working in health facilities across the region will not be coming to work today. And what they have decided to do is that the regional executive will act as a task force to go around the hospitals and various health facilities to ensure that their members comply with the strike. This morning, I haven't been able to check with most of the health facilities yet, but it's early days, so it's difficult to tell whether the impact of their decision to strike can be seen at the moment. So we are looking at later in the day, so we can monitor and see what really the impact of the strike will be on people seeking healthcare in healthcare facilities across the Upper East region.
Right. Do you have any information on how emergency services are going to be dealt with?
Well, what they have said is that, there are members, people who work in the hospitals who don't belong to their union. One of the examples they gave was nurses and doctors. And so for workers like disease control officers, laboratory staff, and some other essential, health workers who are members of their association will be going on the strike. So laboratory services, for instance, is likely to be one of the emergency services that will be affected. But just like I said, we have to see what happens in the course of the day.
Okay, so you don't have any information about ambulances being redirected or information going out to the public, that if there's an emergency, don't go here, or do this or do that. Have you seen any sort of communication like that coming out?
Yes. So yesterday, one of the things they said in the press conference that they held in Bolgatanga was that they wanted the general public to know that this was what was going to happen. And so if you are going to a public healthcare facility and you know that the sort of service you are going to seek, has to be given to you by people who are members of their union, you probably have to start looking at the private healthcare facilities as an alternative because you will not be getting their services. So they did give that indication.
Okay, so you've mentioned doctors, nurses, lab technicians. Who are some of the categories of people that are under this this health services workers union and who are on strike?
Yeah, one of the other group of workers they mentioned were disease control officers. And then he didn't go further to mention so many others. But what he said was that there are as many as 21 groups of workers who, work in the various healthcare facilities. So, that's the breakdown of, the group of workers who will be expected to embark on this strike.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for that, Albert. Sorry, we'll be coming to you a little later on to find out exactly what's happening at the hospitals this morning. Thank you so much. Okay, let's speak to Anas Sabit. He's our correspondent in the Bono East region. Good morning.
Good morning, Enim.
Okay, Anas, so what's the situation on the ground this morning?
Yes, like Albert just said, the situation is still here. I have been to one of the hospitals here. Unfortunately, it seems too early for us to confirm whether this health service workers union are actually turning in to work today or they wouldn't, except that I have been able to speak with the Ministerial Health Director, for instance, here in Techiman, Dr. Fosin, and he told me they've been given a notice by this group that they are embarking on their strike action today. And so they say we have to wait until after 8 a.m., getting to 9, 10 a.m., then we will see whether actually they are withdrawing their services or not. But what he added is that once they've been served notice, they are also, the notice is in a way affecting their line of work today. They were supposed to go for some vaccines for the ongoing COVID-19 vaccinations. And because of the notice they received yesterday, they have decided not to go for the vaccines today because once they pick the vaccines without the input or the service of this, health service workers, they won't be able to embark on that particular vaccination exercise. So today, from what I've gathered, it is not possible that the vaccination exercise that is carried out or that is being carried out here in the Techiman municipality will go on because of the notice they received from the Health Service Workers Union here in the Techiman municipality.
So basically this morning, everything is kind of normal?
Yes, to show up and start work usually after 8 a.m. As we speak, we know they've served the notice. They are likely not going to come. We can't tell as it stands whether they are coming or not. But the municipal health authorities are also making sure that we do not, plan with them ahead of the day's work. So they are not going for their normal, vaccines as they used to. They will have to wait until maybe after 10 a.m. to somewhere midday to ascertain whether actually they are withdrawing their services as they served the notice to them yesterday.
Okay, do you know if any measures have been put in place by the hospitals to make up for the absence of some of these health services workers?
Well, I tried to speak with the administrator of the Abrefu Women's and Children Hospital, which is one of the major health facilities here in the region that belongs to government. All my attempts to reach him is proving futile. But from the Municipal Health Director, without the services of this health service workers union, it's going to be very difficult for the health facilities to discharge their services as they used to, because he says with the exception of the doctors, the nurses, and then the pharmacists, all other workers that are in the health sector are part of this particular strike. So once they withdraw their services, that means the doctors, the pharmacists, and then the nurses, it's going to be very difficult for them to discharge their duties as normal. So actually, if they withdraw their services, it's going to affect healthcare delivery largely in the health facilities in this area.
Okay, are there lots of private hospitals in your region?
There are, but most of these private facilities are in the regional capital, which is Techiman. For instance, the largest health facility in the whole Bono East region, the Holy Family Hospital, is a CHAC facility, belongs to the Christian Health
Association of Ghana
in the country. Association of Ghana, that is CHAC. So it's more or less like the referral point for almost all the health institutions in the region. We also have the Ahmadiyya Muslim Hospital, which is also another major hospital. We have a number of private health facilities in Techiman. Beyond Techiman, you go to Nkranza, you go to Kintampo, you go to Atebubu. Almost all these major areas in the Bono East region rely solely on the government facilities. We have the Kintampo Government Hospital, we have the same in other parts of the region. So the people in Techiman may not feel it immediately because of the number of private facilities in the regional capital. But the hinterlands, the rural communities, and then the other parts of the region would be heavily affected because they are solely relying on, government facilities in the area, health centers, chiefs compounds, and then district or government hospital.
Okay, so we'll come to you a little later, Anas, to find out what's happening. You've indicated that the day shift would usually start around 8 o'clock. So it's at that point that we'll be able to tell, whether the health workers are actually going to show up for work or not. But for now, looks as if everything is normal, at least for the next 14 minutes. So, that's it. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us. We'll talk to you a little bit later. Israel, hello.
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to have a conversation now. Well, Israel, I think you're going to have a conversation now.
So
with Franklin.
Yeah, Franklin Owusu-Ansah, he's the General Secretary of the Health Services Service Workers Union, and he's joining us right now. Good morning to you, Mr. Owusu-Ansah. Hello, good morning, Mr. Owusu-Ansah.
Hello?
Yes, okay, good morning. It's good that you can hear us now. So,
hello?
Yes, so we can hear you. It's good. So we've tried to assess the impact of the strike, and it appears...
I can't hear you, please.
You can't hear me? Hello, Franklin? All right, so we'll try and rectify whatever challenge it is so we can get to speak with Franklin Owusu-Ansah. So, yes, as our correspondents have been saying, it's pretty early in the day to get to see how much of the strike is impacting people. And it's also important to get to understand the workers or the category of health workers that are involved here. Certainly not the nurses and not the doctors, but the need all these other people to get to work with, the laboratory staff, as we've heard, and several other categories of workers at the hospital or in these health facilities. So it's important that they are actually available. Let's try and see if the connection to Franklin is better now. Good morning, Franklin Uswansa. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, my brother.
Okay, great. So have you been able to assess the impact of the strike yourself?
Yeah, good morning, and good morning to cherished listeners. I want members to know that we have regional officers who are in the region to monitor what members have called for. And so to also add that the private facilities that you mentioned, including SAG and Ahmadiyya, they are all part of this exercise because it is one collective bargaining certificate, one collective agreement that covers all this category of workers. And so if government workers are not working, it is not because they are government, but it is because they are part of this single collective agreement.
Franklin, I want to understand, so which category of workers in these hospitals are expected to lay down their tools?
Well, I have about 65 category of workers working in the public health sector who are members of the Health Services Workers Union.
Such as?
Maybe I'll mention some few.
Yes.
Nutrition officers, disease control officers, health promotion and health education, radiographers, that is in the X-ray, sonographers, all the people working in the lab, physiotherapy or physiotherapists, pharmacy technicians and pharmacy technologists, drivers, emergency medical technicians, that is those in the National Ambulance Service, health educators, field technicians. We are talking of the administrative staff, that is administrative managers. We are talking of HR managers. We are also talking of those in the accounts department. We are talking of biomedical engineers. And we are also talking of all those working in the laundry.
Okay.
And the kitchen.
Franklin.
And as well.
Franklin, so it sounds like everybody else, apart from the nurses and doctors.
And pharmacists.
Pharmacists.
So apart from the nurses, doctors, and pharmacists?
Yes.
Right, so what exactly is the issue when you say your conditions of service, government is refusing to improve the conditions of service?
In the year 2015, the Health Services Workers Union signed a collective agreement with government implementing some conditions of service, some monetary, others non-monetary. The agreement was supposed to be in place from the year 2016 and 2017. But after 2017, we have tried as much as we can to make sure we review this document. In the year 2019, government started negotiating with us on this agreement, and we have not seen the review up to today. But even the first one that we negotiated, the implementation became a problem. But among the 4 collective agreements in the system, in the health sector, 3 have been reviewed. Even 1 has been reviewed twice. The other 2 have been reviewed since last year, and they are all in operation. Why is it that the Health Services Workers Union 1 cannot be reviewed and cannot be in operation? Is it that we are being discriminated against or what? Is it that our services are not needed or what? All that we are saying is government should sit with us in good faith, and we want to believe that we will reach a consensus. And as I'm speaking, we have been called by a letter to continue the negotiation today. And I want to believe we will be able to end the negotiation because the items that are left with, we have done all the costing, we have done all the nitty-gritties that needs to be done. And so once they come with the mandate and in good faith, we will be able to conclude on the negotiation.
All right. Are you saying that between yesterday and today that you announced a strike, you've gotten an invitation to come negotiate?
Yes, we got an invitation yesterday.
So if you have the invitation, why are you then going ahead with the strike?
We announced the strike before we were called. And trust me, it is not just Franklin who sits somewhere and announces a strike. The National Executive Council has to meet and announce a strike. And the same National Executive Council has to meet to undo it. And it is not just National Executive Council all living in Accra.
Okay, that's good.
From all the regions.
Franklin, so now you have the opportunity to reach out to your colleagues and the other executives and members and have that meeting and decide whether, because you can't really be negotiating whilst you're on strike.
Well, let us finish today's meeting. The outcome will determine what we will do next.
How soon are you going to call your executives or the national executive to have this meeting so that you can decide whether you want to...
How soon will depend on the outcome of the meeting today.
What do you expect to hear at the meeting that will convince you to have this meeting?
We are going with good faith negotiation. Negotiation is all about win-win. Negotiation is about give and take. And we are ready to jojo at the table and reach a consensus. So we are not going to hold anybody to ransom.
All right. So essentially, if you go into this meeting and you hear something favorable, you're likely to call off the strike?
Why not?
All right. So, well...
In Accra, yesterday, I come exiting on me. And if we are okay, why then do we hold on? In our statement yesterday, we said that we are not happy calling for this industrial action. But we have been pushed to the wall. And for that matter, anything that comes to the table that satisfies both parties, this industrial action will be called off.
All right. Thank you very much, Franklin. And we're actually hoping that you hear something favorable so that you can call off the strike, because it's likely to impact people, as you're indicating. Thank you very much. Franklin Owusu-Ansah is the General Secretary of the Health Service Workers Union, and he is indicating that they've been invited by government to a meeting, and they're hoping that after this meeting, if they hear something favorable, they're likely to call off the strike. We're anticipating that that's what's going to happen.
Yeah, okay, well, let's anticipate away. I'm glad that they're not calling off the strike because of the negotiation, because we saw what happened with the University Teachers Association. So, I mean, sometimes I feel like that element of good faith, has been eroded. And so when you're asking for something, hey, you hold government to ransom, really, until you get what you want.
Really, I would have thought that if you're going into a negotiation, you don't go into a negotiation holding a gun to the head of...
Well, sometimes you have to, once bitten, twice shy. So anyways, they're talking today, so hopefully something good will come out, and that'll be it. But I opened the phone lines a little earlier on, and thank you to all of you who called, even though we didn't get into it, because we really needed to have this conversation. But let's get into it now. So call us, give us a call. Tell us what you think about this strike. Also tell us what's on your mind, 0302-211-691. or 0302-211-692. Give us a call. Tell us what you think.
Right, yes. So let us hear from you. And the other issues we're going to be talking about a little later has to do with the hundreds and thousands of people who are out there trying to get enlisted into the Ghana Immigration Service, the Ghana National Fire Service, and other security agencies. We'll be out there to monitor the exercise to see how it's going again today. It's supposed to be for 4 days, at least as far as immigration is concerned. It started yesterday, Monday, and we're expecting the numbers to be out again today. But it's interesting that, yes, government has indicated, or the finance minister has indicated, that the payroll, public payroll, government payroll is full. We can accommodate, I'm sure they can accommodate a few more people before it becomes completely exhaustive. And yes, we need more immigration staff. We need more fire service or firefighters, and we need more prison service. So yes, let's
but
do that.
Like I said, we only need more of these people if we're going to expand the infrastructure.
Sure, that's also
to be
in
able
the,
to.
I'm sure that's also in the works.
Okay, so we have Theo calling from Mampong. Hello, Theo. Good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Hi. What's on your mind this morning?
Yeah, I just want to say something about the strike by HSW.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's not about holding government to ransom, but it's as if the only language politicians understand workers who on strike. You know, the workers have a genuine cause or a genuine reason why they are demanding for one or two things. But you realize that if it is the turn of the politician, once something is tabled before them quickly, it is accepted. But it comes to the ordinary Ghanaian worker, they'll be going back and forth here and there until something happens. Unlike the case of the nurses and the doctors. Once they go on strike, that is when they realize that they are important to the society or to the citizenry, and then quickly they do what is needful. So I don't think going forward, you know, workers need to go on strike for some of these to be addressed, and I hope that, you know, whatever they have to say today should be concluded so that at least everything can return to normal. Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you for that, Theo. Let's speak to Emmanuel from Kumasi. Emmanuel, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, so what's on your mind?
Okay, that's what I have to say. In fact, we are in a country where I think everything is open. People are being treated fairly, that is with regards to those in the Article 71. But with other groups, they are being treated as if their services are not essential. This is a group that has been fighting for this thing for 4 years now, from 2017. Now the links of this time. And the government is similarly proving like that is not important. I think it should be given a critical look at so that they can save whoever that comes to the hospital or whoever moves to affect whatever that they did at the hospital. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Emmanuel. Let's go to Osman from Second Year. Osman, good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, what's on your mind?
I think that's the only language the government or the believe in. Because Ghanaians are suffering, but all governments, when they are in power, they don't care who they are unless you go on strike. But look at the MPs, how they gain their ministers. How they're the only Ghanaians. And this NLC is bad. But when the workers are suffering, they go to NLC, everything. They don't support them. They don't support the government. What is the government? That's very bad of them. We are all Ghanaians. Yes. We should think about our and how workers to improve their livelihood. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Osman from Second Year. Let's go to Tamale now and speak to Mohammed. Mohammed, good morning. Okay, we just lost Mohammed. So you can still call us 0302-211-691, 0302-211-692. Also, let us know if you're at any of the public hospitals this morning. What's going on there? We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear your situational report. Are you getting access to healthcare? Have you been asked to go and do some labs and you can't find any lab technicians? What's your morning been like at the hospital? We would love to hear that. Okay, we have Hassan on the phone. Hello, good morning, Hassan. Hello? Hello, Hassan?
Yes, please.
Okay, hi, good morning. What's on your mind this morning?
Yes, I think this whole payment or emolument system in this country has to change. Because I don't see how these politicians or political parties work at the government for years. They don't pay light, they don't pay electricity bill, they don't pay water bill, they have fuel allowance, whatever allowance. At the end of the day, they take as gratia. Yet public servants will work for 30 years or over. And pension, the pension that last time they take of pension is not even up to maybe 100,000. Yet these politicians will come here taking hundreds of thousands of Ghana cedis as gratia. So how do you expect public sectors to work? They pay electricity, they pay their own fuel, they pay housing, whatever. So I think this emolument system is has to change. Thank you.
Daniel. Hello, Daniel. Good morning. Hello, Daniel. Hello, Daniel. Okay, it looks like we've lost Daniel, but we're taking your phone calls this morning because we want to know what you think and how you feel about what's going on in the country at the moment. The Health Services Workers Union are on strike, and thousands of people are queuing to be able to get application forms for the Ghana Immigration Service, the Ghana National Fire Service, and so on. So what's on your mind this morning? Let's go to Osman from the Western region. Hello, Osman.
Hello, this is Original Shatta from Bolgatanga.
I see, Original Shatta. Good morning. How are you?
Fine morning. How are you too?
I'm very well, thank you. So what's on your mind?
Yeah, please, we beg the government. Bolga Central Hospital, Bolgatanga Regional Hospital. Please, it has been completed for almost 2 to 3 years now. Not open, and we are suffering. The population here is very huge, and everything has been said. Machines are inside, painted, everything is completed. Why can't they open it for us? Ghana, what is happening to us, our leaders? What is happening? So many schools have been completed. Why are they not opening? Come to Gambaga here. Come to Gambligo here. Come to Tongo Road. Full secondary school is fowls and lizards and goats that are learning, going there to learn. Why? They should come and open the hospital for us. We are suffering. But Gatanga Regional Hospital have been there for 3 good years past. Original Shatta, I'm reporting for the whole Ghana to listen that we are suffering. They should come and open the regional hospital for us with immediate effect. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that, Original Shatta from Osman. And you know, okay, so we have one more
Osman
caller.
is back now.
Okay.
Hello, Osman.
Hello.
Yes, okay, so we lost you earlier. So, yeah, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Western Regional Center.
All right, and what's happening there?
Well, I'm not privy to what is happening in the hospitals, but I want to hear my view on the issue that is on discussion.
All right.
Yeah. In fact, we appreciate the work that the media does as far as national issues are concerned. Sometimes these are those ways we can express our frustration. And sometimes the question that comes to mind is that why is it that governments have to wait so long for workers to go on industrial, actions like this before the concern of workers will be addressed? Sometimes, you know, what makes the cleaner in the hospital or the cleaner in any institutions work less important than probably even the doctors or the president. This whole thing is a system, you know. If the cleaner doesn't go to work, who is there to make sure the hospital is ready for somebody to come to work? More times, citizens have to complain all time before their concerns will be addressed. And in Ghana, we have gone past this issue. At least our leaders should always be proactive. It isn't all the time that we have to go to industrial actions before our concerns will be heard. So I am just using this channel to appeal to our leaders. They should be proactive. They should always try to address issues before they come to the media, before they address them. These things have been discussed way back, but look at it now.
All right.
The citizens have to go to hospital before they will be told that they are on strike. So they have to work. In fact, the media will have to comment on that. Thank you so much. That's mine.
Thank you too for calling, and thank you for keeping faith with us, and thank you for the compliments. We're here to work for you. We're here for you, and so we'll continue to bring us some of the issues and highlight them, and hope that government gets it addressed. Because if we don't talk about them at all, then certainly you know that nothing is going to happen. So yes, we appreciate all of you who have also called. These are issues that matter to you, and we're hoping that the authorities are listening. In fact, I believe they do listen, and so they will do something about them. But I am hopeful that this meeting that they're going to have with the government, instead of being invited to a meeting. Hopefully, this meeting is going to resolve whatever concerns they have. It may not resolve all their concerns, but maybe after that meeting, they will decide that we've heard something favorable enough, and so we're going to call off the strike, because these strikes impact people, real people. People, if the ambulance is not going to work because of the strike, it means that you call an ambulance in the case of an emergency, maybe an accident, and people can't get to be sent to the hospital. It's worrying. People could lose their lives as a result. So let's get to resolve this as quickly as possible.
Indeed, indeed. I agree with you.
All right, so we have other issues we're discussing this morning. The next issue we're going to be talking about has to do with the people who are out there trying to get enlisted into the Ghana Immigration Service, the Fire Service, and other quasi-security agencies. We'll come back to that after this break. Stay tuned in. All right, so you're still on the AM show, and as I indicated, we'll be talking about the people trying to get enlisted into the quasi-security agencies. But we've heard of 5%, 10%, 15%, 20% discount, but never 50%. Sethi Realty is offering 50% discount on their dwelling properties. Prices starting from 210,000 Ghana cedis. That's like a price of a brand new car. This offer is for a limited time and on selected units only. T's and C's apply. So if you're looking for 2 or 3 bedroom home in a gated community, make sure you call Sethi Realty on 055-143-5555 or 055-143-8888. So it's 055-143. Then you dial either 5555 or 8888. So 5 5s, 4 5s, or 4 8s on the back of 055-143. Okay, or you can also visit them online at nyamidiagh.com, and they have the advert in the Daily Graphic as well. So yeah, you can also get into the Daily Graphic and you can find them. I'll find the actual page in the Daily Graphic for you. But yes, as we indicated, one other thing we'll be talking about also has to do with the National Science and Maths quiz. You know, they're starting the prelims today. And so we'll be touching base with Maxwell Agbagba.
Our team is out there.
Maxwell Agbagba is an NSMQ correspondent.
Our team is out there.
He does a fantastic job. Last year he did a fantastic job on that.
At least someone is doing a fantastic job. You know, we can't, Hearts of Oak can't be like Maxwell Agbagba, so it's all good.
I've also told you that Manchester United, they also lost.
No, we don't give a toss about Manchester United. We're in Ghana, so we're not thinking about Manchester United. Besides, we never walk alone. So, I mean, if Liverpool beat Man U, hey, that's good stuff there. But
okay, so the Sethi Realty advert is on page 9 of the Daily Graphic.
I just had the most abysmal argument.
Okay.
About this Hearts of Oak issue.
Okay.
That apparently WAC is top of their league in Morocco, which explains why they beat Hearts of Oak. Is Hearts of Oak not top of the league here in Ghana? Nobody's talking about Liverpool. Like, nobody's talking about Manchester United and Liverpool. That's England. You haven't been to England before. How are you supposing we are talking about Hearts of Oak?
I've been to England before.
Not you. I'm talking to the voices in my head that are arguing with me.
Okay, let's focus. See this issue. I don't know what it is that I need to tell you to convince you that, look, a team, I mean, big teams lose. That's the point I'm making. So Hearts, a big team, has lost. So yeah, let's move on.
No, we can't. But it's fine. Let's move on with the conversation.
If you can't, what do you want to do?
I haven't complained. I'm talking. You talking about Agbagba, and I said, "Oh, Agbagba is fantastic. Not everybody can be like Agbagba." So people will be like House of Folk in their lives. But arose, arise, arisen, continue to rise.
Okay, thousands of youth from Monday have been trooping to various centers to participate in the documentation and medical screening exercise to get enlisted into the Ghana National Fire Service, the Prison Service, and the Ghana Immigration Service. Now, they are eager to get jobs that will almost certainly guarantee job security. We're going to go out there to get to engage with them, as some of them have some very interesting stories about being unemployed and what getting these jobs mean to them. Erastus Asarodonko will be joining us shortly. But first, let's go back to what transpired yesterday.
Of personnel into the Ghana Immigration Service, the Ghana Fire Service, and the Ghana Prison Service began today here in Kumasi. And right now we are here at the Kumasi Baba Yaro Sports Stadium, where the Ghana Immigration Service are having some recruitment exercise.
The medical screening and documentation exercise is expected to end by the close of week. The unemployed youth, including university graduates, joined long queues at the various centers in wait for their turn to undergo the screening exercise.
As you can see behind me, there are several unemployed graduates who have come here to be recruited. And we engage with some of them, and here's what they have to say.
It's been stressful so far. I reached here around 5:45. In fact, the time that I came here, I met about 300 to 500 candidates or applicants over here, which I started joining the queue from the Amas Gate. So I think by 2 hours or 3 hours, I will be done and leave the place.
According to ACI Charles Yaobidiakon of the Ghana Immigration Service, successful applicants will take an aptitude test on Saturday to complete the recruitment process.
It's going to last for 4 days, from Monday to Thursday. We break for Friday, and they'll write the aptitude test on Saturday. So far, so good. We've not had any problems. It's a system we are using. It's not just looking at the person and say, go. We key everything, and nobody can run over the system. They all have to go through the system. If you don't qualify, we take you out, then you go. We are trying to get everybody attended to within the 4 days.
The Trading Economics Global Macro Model has estimated Ghana's unemployment rate will increase from 4.3% to 4.60% by the end of 2021. However, Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta revealed the public sector cannot absorb the majority of the unemployed youth to reduce Ghana's unemployment rate. In spite of the revelation, some applicants are hopeful they will be recruited.
For me, I have hope, because once the government has given out the clearance, I think we can pass through.
That's what they've been saying all this while, but they are still recruiting. So we are just trying our lucks, you see, because the unemployment rate is just too much. So you try your best, you shoot your best shots. If it's, then that's it.
I wouldn't be here if I didn't. I mean, everybody have an iota of hope before they spend their 100 cedis on this application.
From Kumasi for Joy News, Emmanuel Bright Kweku reporting.
So yeah, you've heard the people speaking out there. They've been told that the government payroll is full, but they're saying, well, let's still give it a shot. And see.
I have a question.
Yes.
If the government payroll is full, why are we recruiting again?
All right. So I'm sure what they mean was, yeah, we're getting to that point.
Are you speaking for the government this morning?
I'm trying to explain.
Oh, right. Okay. I get that.
So when they say, I mean, the payroll is full, it's not like it's full.
In the first place, I think that this is what they should do. I think that communication should be clear and say, look, this year we're going to hire 100 firefighters. We're going to hire this, we're going to hire that, we're going to hire that. We're going to put a cap on it. We're taking 500 applications. At some point, the application forms are finished. You know, these are the days, this, we're hiring this, we're hiring that. As opposed to getting half of Ghana at LWAC Stadium, trying to look for jobs, which is possibly what? Maybe they're looking for like 100 and something or 200 and something.
So the issue, one of the issues that is also coming up is asking these people to pay before they actually get. Do you have to pay like 100 cedis to buy a form or something?
Especially if you know that there are 500 vacancies, then, I mean, are you going to say, well, you're going to let 50,000 people apply so that you can pick the best 500? Which I get that
the
tactic.
fee itself is being questioned. Why are we asking them to pay anything at all?
To get employment.
Yeah, to get recruited into a government
I mean, it's not like
agency.
you're trying to go to school. It's school and stuff that, you pay for the application forms and stuff. But paying for a job, it's interesting. And it's not like, you're paying for, like, postage. So, put 5 quid in that envelope for postage. What are you paying for? And then anyways. It's not going to change just because we got stressed out about it. Just like Hearts of Oak is not going to do better just because we get stressed out about it. But, okay.
But yes, okay, so we're trying to get Erastus on the line because Erastus is following, or they're following the issues there in Kumasi for us. So they hopefully can bring us up to speed, get to know what's happening today. Yesterday, we saw the queue out there as far as the immigration recruitment is concerned. As you can see, the people on the screen, lots of people.
Lots of chocolate
to get into.
for me to eat. Da, 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 da. That girl just looks like really tired.
Do you know that what you were trying to sing is out there on?
Oh, I thought I was singing it in my head. I really thought I was singing in my head. But yeah, it's really serious. You see them thronging in, just to pick up forms, and then there's the medical screening, and then they'll choose those that they will, and it's just a really, really, oh gosh. I can imagine how people feel and what they're going through, standing in the sun and not knowing, I do want to know. I think it would be great if the security agencies could let us know how many people they're looking to actually recruit. Yeah, that would be very interesting. And what the whole process is like. So after this, then what? Because I'm sure that there are different levels that you kind of have to go through to finally get in. So yeah, should be interesting to watch. Hopefully there's no bypassing of the system.
No, but I'm sure there'll be some people who can get in using the protocol.
Okay, well, we have Erastus. Right, you want to talk to him?
All right, Erastus, good morning to you.
Morning.
All right, so we've been trying to reach you via our systems. It looks like we're having a challenge, so it's good. We can get with you on the phone. So what's happening? What's happening today?
Well, today I must say that the numbers have reduced as compared to yesterday. And today the immigration officers have also developed new strategies in trying to be very fast with the processes. So when you come in here inside the Heroes Park, Baba Yara Stadium, the first bench is where you get to, show your details and make sure that your input into the system is okay. Then you vigorously run to the next stage, which is the body selection stage. Here I can see 4 immigration officers standing by 4 poles, and these are used to check the height of the applicants. And so when they check your height and it's not up to that standard, you can be disqualified immediately. And so the next stage then will be the body selection. And here, do you know that even just tattoo on your body can get you disqualified?
Of course.
And if you have double piercing on your earrings as a lady, you can get disqualified as well. I'm also learning, interestingly, that if your body build up, I mean, as a man, if you build your body to some gigantic levels, it could disqualify you as well. And if you have a flat foot, that one can also disqualify you as well. And so they will be looking out for some of these things. If you have stretch marks as a lady, the nature of the training, I'm told, will be so vigorous that if you have stretch marks, if you use bleaching creams and you have those defects on your body, definitely you cannot go in, and so you will be disqualified and sent out. So currently, you have quite a number of them standing in front of the 2 tents, one for females, the other one for males, going through the body selection, and then you come to the final stage where indeed you're going to go through checking of your own documents, whether you brought in the right documents with respect to your educational background and all that. They check that. Then, if you qualify, you go to the next stage, which will be on Saturday, where people will be writing the aptitude test. If you pass, then you are through to the stage of training to become an immigration personnel. So that is what is going on here at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium, the Heroes Park specifically.
All right, so I find it quite curious, all the things you've talked about. You mentioned the people, the height and qualification, and I'm curious, what is it about the height? Are they looking for a particular height? If you're too short, you can't get into the immigration service. And then you also brought up the issue about people who are too heavily built. And I'm curious why they would disqualify anybody if the person is too heavily built.
Yeah. And also, why would they disqualify somebody for having stretch marks?
Well, they're saying that the exercise is going to be quite,
What does that have to do with stretch marks?
I don't know, but that's what they're saying.
No, but really, what does it have to do with stretch marks? So maybe
we probably will have to also speak with the immigration officials there to get to understand. So these are questions that Erastus can get to put to them.
I can understand the piercings. Obviously, I'm going to be disqualified.
But why though?
I can understand the piercings. I mean, I think it's about a look and a certain, a certain look and a certain feel. So I definitely get that. But what actually really bothers me is the stretch marks. It doesn't make sense to me at all.
Erastus, so yes, we have some questions. Are you able to get any answers for us?
Yes, ask them. I've been speaking with the
managers on the side, and those questions you are asking about why the restriction, piercings, and the other ones. Well, I've been asking the same question.
They have hierarchies. The person who's supposed to speak on set is not available at the moment. But I've been asking these questions. I'm told that by the nature of the training they have, if you have any of these defects, or if you have double piercing as a lady, it won't be good for you. If you have piercing as a man, that one will also be good for you. I've not gotten the explanation as to why that is so. And then he's also telling me that, well, if you have a body build-up, that is to a certain level. If you come in and you build your body, that's fine. But if you build your body to a certain level, based on their criteria, that one can also disqualify you. Flat foot. It will not be good for you because you'll be having problems going through the training that they do have. And so that one can also disqualify you. As for tattoos, I don't know why, but it says that it has something to do with the image of the service, and all that is part of the criteria for disqualification. So these are the things that he's spoken to me about. And the height as well. They have their own criteria for height. So if you come in here, people are going through that. You first get checked. If you come below the height, then you cannot be picked. That is also another thing right here that can disqualify you. So these are the things that we've been told they are looking. Disqualify people, limit the numbers, get the right people to go through the training to become immigration personnel.
Erastus, what about the age limits? What are the age limits for joining the security agencies?
Okay, so I'm told that with the age limit, they do have applicants who are going in the range of degree, if you have a university degree, or HND, or senior high school. So depending on which one, it comes with specific age groups. For the free SHS, I'm learning that is between 18 and 20-something. I need to check the ages very well. He came on. So the age bracket for you. That is what I've been told now. I'll try and get the age bracket for the other one.
Right,
Okay.
so the technology certainly hasn't been our ally. I mean, we would have loved to have done the live view, but what we're getting is, it looks like we have to do more of the phone. But yes, you get to speak to Erastus. Please get to speak with some of those who are trying to get in for them to tell us what their stories are.
Okay, so currently he's trying to call the PR for me so I could get more answers to the questions that you do ask. But in your shot, there are quite a number of people going through the body selection process. And so you can see 2 tents in here, one for females and the other one for males. And what they do specifically in those tents,
you have stretch marks. If you have stretch marks as a lady, it could disqualify you. If you do use bleaching cream, and so if you do have effect in the body that comes with the bleaching, excessive bleaching, that one can also disqualify you. If you have a flat foot, they will check that. If you have a flat foot, that one can also help you with the kind of training they go through. Then they are looking for the body piercing. If you have any body piercing, they could disqualify you. If you are a man and you have earring piercing, you are disqualified. If you are a woman, if you have double piercing or multiple piercing with the earring, that one can also disqualify you. If you have tattoo in any part of your body, that one will also disqualify you. And so those are the processes. If you see those tents, when you go from there, the last one you see here, then they check your educational background, you check your documents that you brought. If they see that indeed it corresponds with what you have printed out, then you are allowed to go and you are ready to take the IQ test on Saturday, which is the final stage of this whole application process. Then you start your training to become an immigration personnel. So currently, that is what is going through. I'm being told that the PR is not in a position to come on set.
All right.
There is a specific commander who takes care of some of these things. He's currently not around, and so we could not have, unfortunately, somebody to speak to us right here live on set.
All right, Erastus, but before we let you go, the kind of things you're talking about that the immigration officials are having to look out for, body piercing, tattoos, and all of that, does it mean that you would have to take off your clothes so they examine your body?
I wish I had the answer to that one for you, but I'm judging by the coverage of the tents in there. You see, it's totally covered. And so, yes, I will hazard a guess that indeed, if they are going to look for stretch marks, then definitely you have to take off your clothes because they need to examine the body.
Yeah.
If they are going to look out for, piercing, that one can be done with your clothes on. And so depending on...
No. There are some, Erastus, there are some piercings that you can't see.
It goes to the navel and all that.
Yeah. And other places.
I think so. So the tents are totally covered. You can see that over there, the tents are covered totally. So one person at a time. And that is what is making the process also a bit slow.
Okay.
Because one person goes in at a time, they do the examination. So I guess that you have to take your clothes off for the body examination.
All right. Thank you very much, Erastus Osaro-Donkor, and I'm sure you'd later get the official responsible so that you can get to ask all the questions that we've also been asking here. But yes, you can see the process as it's taking place in Kumasi. But it's not just happening in Kumasi, it's also happening here in Accra and other parts of the country. And we will keep you posted on how these things go. But yes, this is the AM show. We have a conversation about the EcoBank Joining South Africa coming up in a bit. Do stay tuned in. We'll be back. But before then, I noticed that when I was talking about piercings all over, you were a bit surprised.
No, I'm still getting over my shock at the 6-1 loss, the Hearts of Oak loss. Any sort of shock or surprise you see on my face has to do with Hearts of Oak. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Okay, so the EcoBank Journeys Habitat Fair, in partnership with EcoBank and powered by the planned city extension project from Cities and Habitats, is coming up just next week. It's under the theme Home Ownership to Build or to Buy. And Cities and Habitats is one of our partners for this year's fair. So you join us at the Accra International Conference Center from Thursday, 28th October to Monday, 1st November 2021 for the main event of the Habitat Fair. And we've been joined by Daniel Edu, who's a project manager, the planned city extension projects from Cities and Habitats, and Loretta Ban, client service executive, Cities and Habitats. So thank you to you both for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
And yes, so rent to own is one of the big hits of the 2021 EcoBank Journeys Habitat Fair, and it's about the way your options or the option you're offering. So we're having this conversation, the whole of this fair, in the 3-minute clinics, to build or to buy. But then in between to build or to buy, the rent to own comes in. So rent to own, so to build and to buy. But you tell us a bit more about it.
Yeah. So basically, it's a progressive way, a progressive approach to owning or building your home or your house. So if you don't have to buy the house now, rent to own is a better approach, if not the best, to getting your home. Our approach, makes you part of the process. You get to know the quality of the material and the workmanship that is involved.
Oh, you get to do the quality?
Yes, because
Explain to us how that works.
Every quarter we have joint site visits with clients. Group site visits in batches. So they come and they see what's going on, and then you also appreciate, that that's my site. That's this quality of material is good.
All right. Let's walk people through the process. What do you need to start? Maybe Loretta, you come in. So somebody approaches and says, okay, I'm interested in taking up one of the facilities that you have available. How does the person proceed?
Okay, so first of all, we walk them through how the rent-to-own process works. Then, with every investment that you're doing, of course, you have to know the terms and conditions. So once you go through all of that and you're okay, you initiate the registration process. We have a registration fee that you pay, then initial deposit, depending on whether it's a building you want or the land.
Okay, yeah. So how much is the registration fee to start with?
The registration fee is 499 Ghana cedis, but by courtesy of the fair, we have a 50% discount on that.
Okay.
Yeah, so instead of the 499, you pay 250.
250.
Yes, please.
Right, so you register, and then what happens?
Then, so with the registration process, you need an ID card, preferably the national ID or a passport.
Ghana card.
Yes. Then the payment, then the details that you need to fill the form. You have a next of kin form as well, passport size pictures. Then you indicate the type of property that you are interested in. You make your initial deposit payment.
What are the types of properties available?
We have quite a lot. We have 1-bedroom semi-detached, 2-bedroom semi-detached, and 2-bedroom detached, 3-bedroom semi-detached, detached row houses. We have villas, 4-bedroom and 3-bedroom. We have different quite a variety. So it's all dependent on you.
And then you're also saying that you have service plots.
Yes, we have service plots.
Okay, so the service plus 2, I'm sure it's coming in some sizes, 70 by 100, 80 by 100, or 100 by 100. Which?
Yeah, so that's standard 70 by 100.
70 by 100 is the standard.
70 by 100. And what it is that from the end of this month, or immediately after the fair, it's going up to what it was originally intended to be. We have run the promotion for almost a year now. So that people can...
What has been the promotion?
The promotion has been 32,000 outright purchase.
32,000
yes,
cedis?
For land.
For land, 70 by 100.
70 by 100 outright purchase.
And you're saying that it is serviced?
Yes, it's going to be serviced.
Do you have the services available now, as in the utilities, available now, or this is something you're working on?
We are working on currently. So engineering designs have just been completed. Roadworks, are barely starting. The gatehouse, all the services, are going to commence. The project that was commenced, actual construction commenced barely 6 months, ago. So for the actual houses, where the houses are, we have divided the city into 8 sectors.
Okay.
We have from sector 1 to sector 8. And the service plots area are going to be on one particular
sector.
Sector. So 2 sectors. So all those facilities are going to come in before, buyers,
So if you express interest in the service plot, do you also pay over a period, or you're supposed to pay upfront?
Yeah, so you can also buy outright. You can purchase outright, but we have 1 year payment plan, and then we have 2 years payment plan, depending on how you want to structure your payment. Yeah.
All right. So let's come back to after you've registered, you pay $499. Currently, the promotion is running. You pay $250, and then you indicate which type of property you want, and then what's next?
So you make your initial deposit. Okay. The initial deposit for properties is 3,000 cedis. That is for the building, sorry, and then for land is 2,000. So after that, we have what we call the offer letter, which is like a contract between the client and us. Once that is issued, then you start your monthly payments, while we also make the preparations to start working on your property.
All right. And do you have any of the buildings currently ready or available?
Currently, we don't have some available. Just as you said, construction started barely 6 months ago, and it's progressive. So as you are paying, then we build. But then we have quite a number of people who will be moving in a year by this time.
Okay.
They have fast-tracked via 20%. The 20% of the total value of your property is what makes you eligible to move into your home.
So after paying 20%, you can now move in when the building,
yes.
Property is ready.
Yes.
It's essentially, purely on demand-driven basis. So until you register or apply and make that initial deposit, which commits you, we can't commence for you. Yeah. Because the rationale is not to invest a lot and now be going around looking
trying
for
to sell
buyers.
Yeah.
You understand? The Ghanaian consumer, just as sometimes we say the Ghanaian voter is quite sophisticated, the Ghanaian consumer too is quite sophisticated. The real or actual demand is there, but then there is they want it in a particular way.
Yeah.
And you ought to be able to fashion it to meet their needs or expectations. It's an income-based approach. That's why we have, several, maybe we want to call it a menu.
Or options.
It's typically income-based and or income responsive, if you may want to, call it that way. We just introduced the package for civil servants, and that for other income groups or other identifiable groups are coming. The civil servants package, we just launched it 2 weeks?
Yes, it's been 2 weeks.
About 2 weeks ago.
Right.
very, very good. And you know, it's that sensitive. The project is sensitive to particular income groups. As long as you can, you know, if you are working and your net can make some reasonable, you know, payment, we have a package for you.
I mean, it's excellent. And so, yeah, we're looking forward to, you know, having all the people come to the Accra International Conference Center to come witness what it is that you have on offer. So, yes, thank you very much to you both for coming through. But I'm sure you have your phone numbers that you'd like to put out and how people can reach out to you.
Okay, so you can reach us on 0577 911 101. 0577 911 101, and then 055 55 3300. 055 55 3300.
All right, so you have the contacts, but before you go quickly, what's the association with the UN Habitat?
Yeah, so the UN Habitat gave technical support to the Plant City Extension project. The initial working out of the master concept plan. You know, when the concept actually came out of the assembly, the ministry, you know, hooked onto it, introduced the UN Habitat onto it.
Okay.
The UN Habitat has helped in, you know, in developing the master concept plan.
Yeah.
And
all right, so thank you very much. I just thought I should let people know that there's this association which makes with the UN, which makes it a lot more, you know, it brings a lot more quality to what you guys are doing. So thank you to you both for coming through. Up next, we're bringing you Showbiz. Don't go away.
Still on the morning show, let's do some entertainment. And you're welcome to the Showbiz segment. And yesterday, the Honorable Minister for Tourism, Art and Culture, Honorable Mohammed Awal, says 30 million Ghana cedis has been disbursed to people who were affected by the COVID and had to close down their establishment, especially so people in the tourism, art and the culture department. And by next month, middle of next month, they are targeting distributing 55 million Ghana cedis. And he said this at a press conference that was organized by the GTA to just tell us the activities that will be happening in December as part of Beyond the Return.
As well, COVID-19 had a devastating impact on tourism more than any other sector in this country, even globally, where we lost about 8 billion cedis in terms of earnings over the last 1.5 years. Hopefully and thankfully, we are coming back slowly. As of today, Government of Ghana through the World Bank will disburse about 30 million cedis to support players in the tourism, arts and cultural space. As of today, we intend to disburse 55 million. By the middle of next month, we'll have disbursed 55 million cedis to support the recovery of tourism sector players in this country. As of today, we disbursed about 30 million to support players in the tourism, arts and cultural space as grants to help them to come back, employ people, and expand their businesses. The last quarter of this year is very exciting for the tourism sector. We're expecting about 150,000 foreign arrivals between now and December, mostly from America, Nigeria, UK, Germany, China, Netherlands, etc. That's why we had to put a lot of protocols together with the task force COVID-19. So last quarter is going to be very, very, very effective and very, very exciting in Ghana. What my colleague didn't mention was we want to have 100th centenary celebration of Yaa Asantewaa. It's 100 years since she died, and we're going to have a good celebration in Ashanti region. So we're expecting a rise in tourism. As at now, we've achieved about 70% of our targets for this year. Tourism has rebounded. Last year was very appalling because of COVID.
but we are going to double our figures that we had for 2020 in 2021. Ghana is getting more tourist arrivals than any other country in West Africa as of today. And we think it's a policy that the government has put in place. When the COVID came, the president took drastic measures. Closure, as we all know, there were a lot of closures and a lot of restrictions put in place. And Ghana is getting more vaccinations than most countries in West Africa. By December, God willing, we'll have vaccinated close to 20 million people in this country, out of 31 million people.
Well, so 20 million is being looked out to being vaccinated by December out of the 30-something million people we have in Ghana. Well, let's go on. And Kwesi Agyemang, who happens to be the CEO of the Ghana Tourism Authority, has outlined some protocols that tourists coming into this country will have to go through. And also, you will need a COVID card to be able to go for an event this Christmas. Well, let's listen to him at the press briefing yesterday.
For those who will be traveling in, the requirements as applies to most people traveling to Ghana will apply, i.e. a negative PCR test taken within 72 hours, the pre-purchase of the COVID-19 test from Frontier Health Service before you board the plane, payment on that platform, and then also upon arrival at Kotoka, going through a COVID-19 test. Now, for events, guests to each event will be required to present COVID-19 vaccination cards prior to entry for all events. And I repeat that one. Guests will be required to present COVID-19 vaccination cards prior to entry for all the events that are going to be endorsed. And then, in addition to that, guests ages 5 and up will be required to wear face mask covering, except when maybe there's an activity like you are having a drink, then you can put it down. But it's a mandatory requirement that masks are worn to all these events. And then you have temperature checks to be completed prior to entry to all these events. Then on-site venue protocols, there will be the entry sanitizing systems and sprinklers, sanitizing and disinfection of high-touch surfaces. The complete venue sanitizing will be conducted at the opening and closing of each event. And then the hand sanitizing stations located throughout the event venue. So for very large events, you can't just put one hand sanitizer in front and expect that everybody will go out and sanitize. It should be located throughout the event venue.
And I'm sure you want to know which event that you will need the COVID card to attend, right? Okay, so the GTA boss outlined the events so far that has been earmarked and have been given the green light to promote and get ready for this Christmas.
Is happening. It's on the 28th of December this year, and already we've engaged with the organizers, and we are hopeful that after today's announcement, they will go ahead and make their formal announcement and ensure that they are able to draw in the numbers. We also have the Polo Beach Club, Rhythms on the Runway, which we've also engaged on already. The Guba Awards that is happening in a few weeks is also part of that. The Taste of Ghana, Kwanzaa in Ghana, the Diaspora Transition and Diaspora Conference, and a few others that we hope to add to the table.
So yes, Africhala is happening this Christmas. And Mira Tawika, happy belated birthday to you. I don't know which one of them you want to go, but I certainly want to go for the Taste of Ghana because there's going to be a lot of food.
Yeah, I'd like to be in any of them at all. But thank you very much, IB. But before we go, Mr. Kwame Anthony, the Youngster Director General and founder of the Youngsters International, that's a birthday dedication for you. We thank God for adding another year to your life. Happy 86th birthday. And that's it for the show. I'm Israel. We'll be back again same time tomorrow. Have a wonderful